enter a plea of guilty or nolo. You may wish to enter a plea of not guilty, and while you prepare for trial, you can also look up that information.
Today's video jumps straight into a wild situation as we look at a sovereign citizen who genuinely thought bringing his own self-appointed gun-carrying, sword-swinging attorney general was a brilliant idea, and you can already tell it's going to get chaotic from the very first minute, because this isn't your typical courtroom appearance at all, since this man arrives with more props than legal arguments, and somehow believes all of it boosts his credibility while we have two separate hearings involving the same defendant, each stranger than the last, so buckle up, because things get messy quickly as nothing moves in a straight line, and every answer creates three new questions, so let's dive into his first appearance.
All right, DeMarcus Contrell Brown.
Your Honor, we were representing him, but we are going to be submitting a withdrawal to you. You should have it shortly.
All right, Mr. Brown, are you represented by somebody else?
Yeah. For the record, I am DeMarcus Bay, the implied surety for DeMarcus Contrell Brown. And I would like to file a motion in the court for additional 30 days for me to seek counsel.
Okay, so Mr. Bay,
Yes.
aka Marcus Contrell Brown, so you're seeking a continuance to get new counsel?
Yes.
Okay, do you have someone in mind, sir?
Not right now. I'm seeking counsel.
I'm calling nonsense on his excuse immediately, because it's painfully obvious he already has someone advising him behind the scenes, and that advisor looks like someone who graduated with honors from a glue-sniffing retreat. As the whole story falls apart the moment you listen closely, since he's pretending to search for counsel he clearly already has, but doesn't want the court to know, which is a classic delay tactic used when someone wants to stall a case, and the performance is so sloppy it barely qualifies as acting, because anyone watching can see straight through it while he tries to buy time he hasn't earned, but the judge is far too experienced to fall for it.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to give you a continuance for 30 days, or I'm sorry, until January 5th. But by that time, you need to have counsel on board when they come back so that they can talk to the state to determine if there's anything they can work out on your case, or if they need to get all of the information necessary for a trial, if that's what you choose to do. So by January 5th, I will expect that you will have counsel.
Well, I have paperwork on the docket. They haven't been rebutted. I have affidavits of truth. They haven't been rebutted.
Okay, sir, we don't do affidavits. People have to appear in person because there's a confrontation clause in the United States Constitution that says witnesses, you have the right to confront witnesses in person. So we don't do affidavits, okay? If you have witnesses that are going to present testimony or evidence on your behalf, then you have to have them come to court, be sworn in, and testify at that time, okay? So we're not doing any dismissing and all of that stuff. No, sir. When you get your counsel, they'll be able to discuss it with the state, and then y'all can present whatever to the court.
And the accusing deputy must be present too.
And the judge casually pulls out a massive legal book, and that alone completely scrambles this sovereign citizen's worldview, because he came in convinced he mastered the law through internet forums, but suddenly he's staring at a real updated statutory book, and his entire strategy depends on pretending real laws don't exist, which makes this moment shatter his illusion instantly as his confidence evaporates right in front of everyone, since he wasn't prepared for someone who actually studies the law. While he came armed with buzzwords instead of facts, and the judge came armed with actual education, and that one book holds more truth than every YouTube guru he's ever listened to, so no wonder he looked completely lost the second she opened it.
Okay.
So the people always say that, but here's the thing. The state gets to choose whatever witnesses they wish to bring, just like your side gets to choose whatever witnesses you wish to bring. You can't rely on them to bring the person that you want. So if you want to subpoena someone to appear for trial, then you need to subpoena them. You cannot rely on the state to bring your witness. Okay?
Okay. I got you. So,
all right. Anything else?
And jurisdiction can be challenged at any time, right?
No, sir. Jurisdiction rests with this court because this is where the locus of the incident is.
Well,
Mr. Bay, let me just explain something to you.
Court cannot confer jurisdiction.
Mr. Bay, listen to me.
Okay.
I went to school for 3 years for this. That's full time. If I had gone part time, it would have been 4 or 5 years. And I have been working since, oh Lord, I ain't gonna give my age, but I've been a lawyer and a judge for quite some time. I've been a judge for 10 years as of this year. A lot of times people come before me because they've learned stuff from other people, or they've gone online, or they've read it themselves. But I tell you, it doesn't work the way you think it works. And so there's a set of statutes, cases, procedures, all of those things that we have to learn. In fact, let me show you something.
Well, how do you have?
Wait. You see this book right here?
It still amazes me how sovereign citizens manage to make their own lives harder as they rack up fines like they're building a collection and stack penalties that could have easily been avoided with basic compliance, while wasting hours arguing instead of simply following the rules and convincing themselves the system is the problem, whereas regular people pay a small fee each year and move on. But these folks treat traffic laws like a personal attack and somehow spend more money fighting than they ever would complying. As they act like confusion is a strategy, and every time it explodes in their face, because not a single ounce of common sense enters their plan, and yet they repeat the same disastrous cycle every single time.
This is just this year's edition of all the stuff that I have to be able to find to figure out what's going on in your case. This is just this year's edition. And I got a book like this that includes evidence and procedure. I got a whole wall of books. So when you come in here challenging jurisdiction and all of this stuff people have taught you, it's not books.
Can I show you my Black Law Dictionary?
No, sir. Because Black's Law, that's a dictionary. That's not the full case. You know, you come in with all of these ideas about how you think the law works, but every lawyer in here has done at least 3 years of law school and trainings, trials, all of those things. So you're not going to change the way we do things. So the best thing to do is to get an attorney who can talk to the state about your case, and then we can get this resolved. Your case is pretty simple. You got traffic offenses.
That wraps up his first appearance. But the real chaos begins when he returns with a man claiming to be his personal attorney general, who strolls into the Zoom hearing fully armed, not metaphorically, but literally carrying a gun and a sword like he spawned out of a video game. And it instantly becomes one of the most bizarre legal team introductions ever, as this second appearance shifts from confusion to full comedy, with both of them seemingly determined to sabotage their own case by bringing theatrics instead of arguments, noise instead of knowledge and attitude, instead of preparation, turning the entire segment into a masterclass on how not to handle court.
Well, I still want you to prove on the record that you have subject matter jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction.
I'm not proving anything on the record, sir. I wear the robe. They put me in this position. I've been here 10 years. If I didn't have subject matter jurisdiction, I wouldn't be here.
So you say it's not a difference between public and private for the record. There's no difference.
Sir, get an attorney.
Okay, all right. January 5th.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And Mr. Bay/Brown, you've indicated that you wish to have an attorney, so I'm going to rely on the fact that you're going to have an attorney. Don't come back here with the same stuff, and I already told you it's not going to work.
So you're telling me United States codes don't work?
No, I'm telling you, you don't know them.
Got him.
So first of all,
right here.
The United States codes don't work in Georgia because Georgia has its own code, OCGA.
So the meaning of driver is different in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
But according to 49,
Mr. Bay, I'm not doing this with you. Get an attorney.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. You're free to go. We'll see you on January 5th at 11 a.m.
All right, so that's the end of his first appearance. Now let's get to the spicy bits, where he brings on his attorney, who also happens to be an attorney general. And oh yeah, his lawyer also thought it was a good idea to bring a gun and sword into the Zoom court hearing. Let's call this segment How a Not Attorney Fucked His Not Client's Case Up.
So, DeMarcus Contrell Brown.
I have interest in that matter. Is the defendant ever free to go?
If the what?
Is the defendant in error free to go?
No.
Well, let the record show the defendant in error is ordered to stay and participate.
Let the record show this defendant is definitely not operating at peak brightness, because if human intelligence were measured on a light strip, he'd be flickering on the dimmest setting, as his statements echo pure confusion, wrapped in confidence, like a riddle nobody asked for, since he clearly memorized terms without understanding them, which makes every word blur the situation even more, while nothing he says connects to reality, and he tries desperately to sound official, but ends up producing nothing but noise, because watching him argue is like watching someone debug their own brain glitch in real time, and the judge honestly deserves a medal for the level of patience she shows.
My name is not spelled in all capital letters. I have a court order decree saying that.
Okay, Mr. Bay. Mr. Bay, do you have an attorney representing you, sir?
Attorney General, my Attorney General is online. You may speak to me, sir.
Is the Attorney General, Mr. Bay, hold on, let me ask my question before you tell me something crazy. Is the Attorney General a member of the State Bar of Georgia?
I'm a non-state actor. I'm a foreign national. Matter of fact, I filed
Mr. Bay.
oath of office.
Mr. Bay, I don't care if you were Alexander Putin, the premier of Russia. If you are in Georgia and you're represented by an attorney, that attorney would have to be a member of the State Bar of Georgia. Foreign national or not. Just as if you went to another country and you had an attorney represent you, that attorney would have to meet the requirements of that country and of that state. Okay, Mr. Attorney, Mr. Bay, hush. Mr. Attorney General.
I'm trying to set a record.
Mr. Bay, Mr. Attorney General, are you a member of the State Bar of Georgia? You want to unmute for me?
Speak, bro. Get off mute.
Bringing that so-called Attorney General was a disastrous choice from the beginning, because the man looks like the unofficial child of Dog, the Bounty Hunter, and Captain Jack Sparrow, and somehow speaks with even less legal sense than he appears to have as the moment he opened his mouth. The case sank to a new low, with every sentence becoming a fresh layer of wrong. Yet he carried himself like he was saving the day, while actually making everything worse, since he showed up confident, but confused loud. Uninformed and present, but entirely unqualified, turning what could have been a simple hearing into a full-blown circus.
What's going on is he's a member of a foreign state corporation, basically doing business in Georgia. So
Okay,
basically,
sir, that's not what I asked you. No, sir.
I get what you're saying, man.
No, and I get what you're saying, but we're not doing that because that's not how we operate. Those are not the laws under which I am required to conduct court. So we either gonna do it my way or we're gonna put you on the calendar.
We understand the rules of the court. I got you.
Okay. Are you a member of the State Bar of Georgia?
No, I'm not a member of the Bar of Georgia.
Okay,
what I'm trying to realize,
then as he can represent himself,
you need to take consideration on that matter on how he's doing business in Georgia.
He can represent himself, or he can be represented by a member of the State Bar of Georgia. But he cannot have you represent him or purport to represent him. Okay, that's not going to work. All right. So, Mr. Bay, do you wish to choose someone who is a member of the State Bar of Georgia to represent you, or do you wish to represent yourself?
I invoke my right to remain silent as the beneficiary of Demarcus Cottrell Brown estate.
Okay, sir. So, sir, you're invoking your right to remain silent, which means that you do not wish to enter a plea that
I plead to be released.
That would resolve your case today. As such, the court is going to enter a plea of not guilty for you.
Judge, you cannot practice law from the bench.
You absolutely cannot practice law from the defendant's seat, but he tries it anyway, and the judge shuts it down instantly, because she actually knows the rules while he clearly doesn't, as he seems unaware that default pleas exist for a reason, and that every criminal case begins with not guilty, unless changed by the defendant, yet he insists on arguing like the system is tricking him, even after the judge explains everything clearly, while he twists meanings, ignores the burden of proof, ignores his available options, and ignores plain reality, making his entire attempt look like someone guessing their way through a test they never studied for.
Violate
put you on
28 USC 454. Judge practicing law from the bench.
and put you on a trial court, on a trial calendar so that your case may be heard at
I
trial.
object.
All right, sir. Thank you. You'll get notice in the mail. If anything
I
changes
object.
about your, address, then you can go ahead and let us know by coming
I
into.
have no. I demand an evidence hearing.
You will have that at the time
I
of the
demand
trial,
an evidence
sir.
hearing.
You're not going to have an evidence hearing today because that's not what we're here for. This is
You
a
are dishonorable. I got your oath, Tammy Long. Hey,
So, Mr. Bay, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You'll have a trial at which time you can have an evidence hearing. You'll get notice in the
you
mail.
in violation of Article 6, Section 2 of the Constitution.
Your notice in the mail, then you can appear for hearing with whatever evidence that you wish to
I
present.
object.
Although you are not required to present any evidence or testimony because the state has the burden of proving the case against you. Thank you, Mr. Brown. You're free to go at this time.
I object.
All right, Kevin Jermaine Burrow.
The judge has zero interest in his out-of-place objection, and honestly no one can blame her, because he objects to things that aren't objectionable and argues points that don't even exist, while clearly misunderstanding the very process he's part of and thinking that raising his voice somehow equals legal logic, even though nothing he says is grounded in law, but instead rooted in ego and misinformation, which the judge sees through immediately as she refuses to be moved by theatrics or noise, and continues the hearing because she knows exactly what kind of nonsense she's dealing with. And that wraps up this entire wild episode, as I'll be watching closely for what happens next, because something tells me this won't be the last time he makes a courtroom appearance. And the second there's an update, I'll bring it straight to you. So if you enjoyed the breakdown, hit the like button or tap dislike if it wasn't for you, and drop a comment to share your thoughts while subscribing with notifications on for more courtroom chaos, because there's always another sovereign citizen ready to surprise us, and I'll be here to cover every moment. So thanks for watching and sticking through the madness. Until next time, stay sharp and stay sane.